So before you were a CrossFit.
Ako?
Yeah, coach was.
Sige, ako muna.
Alam ko you were like super thin before, di ba?
Yeah, I was a college kid.
How old were you when you started?
19 now. I came back a year after na when I started working.
What was your job in CrossFit? Ikaw ba yung taga-whisper?
I wish. Pero
Nag-iikot lang.
I was in the executive lounge sa Marriott, so basically you're still doing front desk duties, but plus butler duties with the special members. So they stay at least 75 nights a year.
What was it, coach? What did you do before CrossFit?
I was lifting with Sam and Gab in Palms Country Club. There was a time, I think we were watching the Ateneo Lasal game in Mulligans. And then I meet Chino Roque. Kasi when CFM and Alabang was opening, I think may pa-incentive kayo for paramihan ng mayaya.
Somewhat din.
And then may free shoes. Sabi niya, tulungan mo ako, gusto ng shoes. And then sakto, the first person I actually see inside the box is a friend of mine, si Sandra Soriano, who eventually became one of the fittest woman in the Philippines. Diba?
Yeah.
And then, pagsilip ko dun sa board, ito nakita ko. Eh, this guy kasi, we have common friends. Like, his barkada and my barkada is like one big barkada. So, I joined. That's how I started CrossFit. Yun. Pero before CrossFit, bad na ako nun. Nabudol ako sa CrossFit.
The CrossFit world.
Yeah.
How about you, that's yours?
Before CrossFit, I did yoga and bakal gym din.
Hindi ako naniniwala sa'yo.
I did yoga.
Para hindi ko ma-imagine.
Well, I was 50 pounds lighter. Yeah, I did yoga. That's where I got my mobility. Yung usual sa bakal gym, you do it alone. At some point, you don't know what's happening but you're plateauing. And then from sa dating back sa Makati, tapos nandun pa yung poster ni Rich Froning. So parang, right? Nakaganon pa si Rich Froning. So I researched about it. So parang, okay kakaiba to. So I tried. And then the first coach was Kirby. And from there on, si Kirby talaga, for me, was a really, really good exposure for me sa CrossFit. He even invited me, nag-one-on-one session kami. Ang goal niya, to get daw yung base 1 rep max ko. First 2 weeks, 295 back squat. Then from there on, parang na-addict na ako.
Big boy strength.
I was my fittest when I did CrossFit. And to si Kirby, ang galing pa mag-prompt. When he knows everyone is like, they wanna quit, he's gonna shout, find the reason to fight, get that good endorphins after the class. So for me, that's how I started CrossFit.
How about what's your life like? Was there life before CrossFit? Did you meet Nikki sa CrossFit?
Met Nikki through skateboarding.
Okay.
So that was my life before CrossFit. I was competing downhill skateboarding. Yeah, I met Nikki when we had Noah. We were looking for something to do, like to get fit again. Her dad came back from the States and then brought us to CrossFit ETHOS Strike. Yeah, with sila Coach A, sila Ange.
Saan mo nakuha yung pagiging gymnast?
Through CrossFit na lang.
Doon
talaga?
Oo, yeah.
Kasi I thought that you would have a background of gymnastics.
As in, I fell in love with the gymnastic side of CrossFit kasi when I walked in, sabi ko, man, I can't compete with these guys, big lifts.
Yeah.
And then sabi ko, yeah, I'll find where I'm good at. Like, tipo, that's where I got the term na parang pocket ninja kay Dusty. Yeah, so you can do everything and anything. Yeah.
We're classmates in almost so many things. Yeah. That's what we call each other. So,
Classmate,
yeah, Reno, myself, and Jordy. We've been classmates in at least 3 or 4 certifications. I think.
How about you, Joe?
Immediately prior to CrossFit, I was fresh off of culinary school after failing at trying to become a doctor with pre-med. And then I was doing like a light commissary work. And so because of that lifestyle, I ballooned into, basically like a Kirby.
Like, what was your ideas?
240 pounds. 240 is alarming based off of like what my life was growing up, where I was always in sports or an athlete. And I was really living a very unhealthy lifestyle. As a kid, I've always made it a point to always be working out or doing some kind of sports. That's why sport is important for me because it mixes up. And prior to that was actually rock climbing. So I was in indoor climbing, very much into it. Unfortunately, the gym that I was training at closed down. And then that led me to focusing more on my work, and then age started to catch up. I mean, I was only 21, 22 at the time, but still, you're not a teenager anymore. You don't have like that super metabolism. And I started to gain weight really quickly with the lack of exercise plus consuming everything that I was baking at the time. Before rock climbing, I was doing ultimate frisbee and badminton and basketball in high school as well. And I was part of, I was a swimmer for 13 years. But yeah, that was pretty much my life prior to, directly before I got into CrossFit.
How about you, Quads?
Me, as a kid, no sports at all. No sports background. Because at high school, I found that I had slip disc. Sobrang careful talaga na I'll just do the bare minimum sa PE. As in, no, nothing talaga. Few years later, when I found out CrossFit, tapos I did the famous trial no na 777. Shortly after, wala pang within 3 months, innate sa akin yung, although, syempre ibang-iba yung CrossFit as a sport back then sa ngayon. Even if I had the lifestyle back then na drinking, always going to gigs, talagang 180-degree na change. Talagang biglang di ako sama sa mga gimmick. Talagang tigil, cold 30 kung ba, no looking back na. Lahat ng mga kakilala ko before CrossFit, talaga si Polly. Yung dating may slip disc na masakit yung likod ko, so makikita nila nag-back squat ng ganito, eventually nakapag-muscle up naman kahit paano. Pero yeah, it was a totally different Polly.
I remember you guys when you started with four blocks. I remember you guys just.
So fourth kayo nag-start?
Yes,
Fourth.
fourth box.
So totoo talaga, before when it was just CFMNL, Eastwood, and Fort, and before Alabang, talaga daw sabi nila, people would take leaves just to train.
Yeah,
From
patayan, yeah.
Okay kayo ah.
There was a time na parang inter-box throwdown, parang so dalawa pa lang. And
yeah.
it would just be more challenges more than anything. How about you guys?
Same as Polly. I think CrossFit came into my life like sakto-sakto. Like before CrossFit, it was something I'd probably be a different person. Because during that time, gigs in, music was a big part of my life. And I knew it was something na hindi sustainable in the long run. Like, kasi you'd spend a lot of time outside the house. For me, the turning point was I was drinking so much, I got sick. 2 weeks I was hospitalized.
So drinking?
Just drinking. Similar to Polly, like, I said,
Things to flip again.
change lifestyle na. So, it was something na similar experience. I did the 777. It was so bad, so hard. The harder it was, the more rewarding it is after. So, it kind of aligned that I was already in that frame of mind and I want to do something else. Slowly, the interest kind of shifted to something a bit more healthy. And I think a big part of it was the people you started to hang out with.
Yeah.
Parang ibang-iba yung thinking. The biggest realization was, in one wood, I couldn't do a pull-up. And there was this girl beside me, mommy na, nagbo-butterfly. I was like, what the hell? So after I realized mo talagang, oh my God, it's not age. It's really like your lifestyle na if you make that conscious decision to make health your priority, well, nothing negative will come out of it.
Ninong was my father-in-law. That was a turning point. Me and my brother-in-law, basically, yung mga son-in-law niya, dragged us into CrossFit. And from back in the day, from Claret, I would see him like super senior na. That's my Ninong. His name is Al, or Papa Peke.
Papa Peke.
Yung pinaka-ninong would be Kirby.
Kirby, pumukup sa'yo.
Because I tried it, and then I had a good experience, so I stayed because the foundation of staying sa CrossFit, I would say because of Kirby.
Kasi Jarvis, Josh.
Kayo, kaya ni-flip tatlo. Kasi pagkapasok ko, how old are you? You need to sign, you have your parents sign this. I'm 19 already. Yeah. Before you join the class.
But you came on your own regard. You didn't have a friend who was doing it.
I was like, sa new gym mo, parang sabi ng dad ko, nandiyan ka na, puro ka na inumin. Tapos pumasok ako, they asked, diba? It's after the first class, so I did the 8 a.m. It was hard, overhead lunges, and naman yung shoulder mobility.
There's a fun part about it, right?
Yeah.
Parang just do it.
That program that day was my very first intern coach session day. But I remember because there was only one towel pull-up day ever programmed. And
That's
it was my first ever time to teach a class. And I literally got thrown into it. I'll never forget that.
How about you, Joe? Like, who would you consider your pinakaninong?
Oh, it's my brother, for sure.
Joms.
So Joms was the one who brought me into CrossFit because we used to go to the gym together, or not at the same time, but we used to go to the same gym. He bought me a Deal Grocer membership. Parang sort of like buy one, take one. And for CrossFit, and I remember being a little bit excited for it because I had zero idea what it was, but it was the intensity of what I saw. So I know I advocate these days that the intensity aspect is the deterrent for people to do CrossFit, but it was the intensity actually that drew me into trying it out. I remember watching my first video ever, and it was the Adidas one with Chris Peeler and the wife of Ben Bergeron now. And I just found it so cool because they were working with chalk, ropes, rings. And when I saw that the guy was like dropping a barbell, I was like, okay ito you know? And like they zoom in on his chest tattoo. I was like, yeah, let's go. And so that was very interesting for me. And it's funny because like my brother and I didn't even go at the same time. So if it wasn't for my brother, if he didn't see that opportunity to bring me into something new with him, I wouldn't be where I am now.
So who would you consider your CrossFit like hero?
Vanessa Fung.
Hey.
Yeah.
There's no specific person siguro who made me stay or look up to. It's more of the whole community for me. It's like every time I walk in the sa box and do a workout, it's like you're going to war with your comrades and everything. And parang, share trauma. You went into something and then, for some reason, all CrossFitters, parang, they have this mentality na talagang very strong. Parang achievers and they want the challenge. So addicting for me. That alone, to be part of that culture is enough for me na parang, I didn't have to look up to one specific person, but the feeling you get when you do a workout with these people is so addicting for me.
How about you, Rino?
Probably what inspired me, if I can say, I saw a picture of JV Montoya. His pose was like that. So parang sabi ko, diba? Sabi ko, parang naka-shades lang siya and all this JV bad boy. Oh, he has this photo, this specific photo. I knew him from skateboarding. I saw him again, the tipong, si JV to and then he was like shirtless. Sabi ko, sige, magka-CrossFit na rin ako. So I want that. I want that. Look good naked.
I actually have a lot of heroes here. So like for me, a lot of it is very from different senses. So I think I'll start with like the coaching perspective. My coach here was actually Coach Rudy of the Outlaw Way. And on a very profound setting, the reason for that was that there's this Canadian guy in the middle of nowhere in Canada who a Filipino is following me. Like I just look at him, I look at the way he coached. It was very rustic. It was very aggressive. But it was well received. And how is this guy able to sort of like move people all around the world? The fact that there was this one dude from wherever part, one human soul in spirit who can do so much, that would for me really inspired a lot. So that was my coach hero. My athlete hero was from Europe naman, si Miko Salo. He really embodied a lot of the spirit that I wanted to have, not just in a workout setting, but also like in a life setting. Whereas like after you've gone through like a very difficult workout or a very difficult time, don't find yourself lying down. Stand yourself up, put your hands above your head, recover, and go to the next thing. From a local athlete perspective, it was actually a KP. And this is a Filipino, not a very young one, even at the time, and it was just super inspirational. On a local setting, my two heroes were actually Ramon Nosmeña and Ipe Zamora. Ipe for his work ethic. This is a guy who keeps his head down, strongest guy I've ever seen work out, unfazable. There was something about the way he attacked the workouts and kept his humble self after the workouts that just drew me into him. Like I wanted to tag along. And Ramon, he just showed me what CrossFit's true essence was about, the community aspect. The way he talked to everybody, the full inclusivity of it all. hindi siya yung mema you know? That's just really his spirit. He's so inclusive, and it inspired me in a sense of like, this is why I'm still here. This is why my introverted self who chooses to work out by myself is still here. It's because of people like this. And I need to be more like him if I want to continue doing this.
For me, it was either Spieler or Cody Anderson. Because in CrossFit kasi, diba, there's no weight classes. So if you're small, wala, sorry, lugi ka pagdating sa, sa lifting. Looking at Spieler and Cody Anderson, parang, when you look at the WOD floor in competitions, they're the smallest guys. He was able to stay in the game, even though he did not have to put on mass talaga.
My heroes are from other sports since childhood. Rafael Nadal, because my mom doesn't like Rafael Nadal because of emotion. Sinasabihan ako sa sports, parang, don't show your emotion, pangit tignan. I think it was just passion.
Yeah.
And he wanted to prove na he's the best. Tingin mo ngayon. And Ronaldo, Cristiano, because he made it a debate. Technically, walang debate in that sport who's the best, but with what he's doing.
Kevin Reyes. First time ko makakita, in my head, I couldn't comprehend how he was snatching that weight. Parang hero talaga siya kasi he was doing things beyond what you would think his body would be able to do. So, how is this physically possible that someone this small can lift this weight na snatch? No way. What are you most excited about with the new box? About the community, like bar none. It's like the excitement of having a clean slate, the kind of like us being given the opportunity to kind of like dictate the culture, the way our personalities will have an effect on it, and the relationship that we'll build with these people now. Hopefully, will feel like they're part of this tribe.
Of course, above all, this, every one of us, all of us is a culmination of those boxes, and we get to come together and offer it in ethos. Blessing in disguise that we can start anew, because all of us, most of you, you know what you want to implement in this new box from your previous learnings. And that excites me to see na when it's time na, how it's gonna evolve. For whatever reason, nung nakita namin yung space sa Aqua, the place was built for CrossFit. It's like a sanctuary, parang perfect when you want an escape from the city. You just go there, work out, get out, you're refreshed. Yung mindset natin na we're gonna provide the best, everything that we can, with the coaches and everything. So yun yung nakaka-excite kung how will it evolve.
There's a thing that we use in the bar that I work out from time to time, where the goal is to make the place what we call is the third place, where it's your place between home and work. And it's a place where you're comfy, it's a place where you can be yourself, and it's a place that is neither stressful nor just too comfortable. It's a place where you just go to exactly be that, like release. So it's somewhere between a place of work and a place of home that you can consider part of your life. And I feel like ethos is something that should be that for a lot of people, definitely.
I look at CrossFit naman, parang you're giving them the tools to impress themselves. They will blow their own minds, parang, oh my God, kaya ko pala ito. And there's always something to look forward to, parang never ends. So that's something that I'm also excited about that. So.
And what's the next 10 years like? With this team, how will it affect in terms of sustainability, general health and fitness for everyone, not just this team, yung community that will be building, diba?
Actually, it's very hard for me to say like what one thing is. I think the journey has been so wide. As Josh was saying earlier, like if you put this whole table together, we have easily more than 50 years of experience on the table. And everybody has like a unique experience. Everybody has something so unique to put on the table that we can all learn from one another. I would say the thing that excites me the most about is I'm excited to make more mistakes. We had gone through a pandemic where it's, in a sense, it's like a business apocalypse. A lot of CrossFit gyms closed down. A lot of other businesses closed down. And now we're on the other side. So we're in that post-apocalyptic phase. And we have gathered unique individuals for this movement of creating a new standard or a standard to what it should be in the future. Life after the pandemic and life as CrossFit as it is now, especially when the community has had time to take a step back away from the services that were being rendered to them, and now they have this opportunity to come in again. So this new phase for me is not baptism by fire, not learning and knowing anymore, but now I know better. And it's time to see if what I know is actually worth, like whether I can practice what I can preach or if I can actually walk the talk. And I want to make mistakes because for me, that's how I'm gonna grow even more. And with Ethos being a very holistic experience from everything, the equipment, the coffee, the way the box is built, top of the line coaching, top of the line service, all around. In our chase for perfection and being the best, what are our obstacles? And that's the one I look forward to the most.
Personally, I'm excited to coach again. Being a coach, for me, I don't know, it's the fulfillment is different, knowing that you helped someone, changed someone's life for the better, of course. Even if I'm coaching or as a member, parang go to that place, and I hope that's something that our members will feel. Parang they look forward to going to this place. Because like you, what you said, na knowing that you're people who you will be suffering with, and it's a nice feeling na parang may kasama ka with this whole fitness journey. And I want our members to feel that.
I'm really excited about the lineup, the place. I've seen it. I've seen the in and outs. Na I've never been this excited about something. Like it's canceling your appointments just to get in that workout. I get that same feeling about this. I think it's a good thing that learning from what went wrong, what didn't work, what worked, adapting to making small and rapid corrections along the way as we open up.
Hey guys, so hopefully you guys enjoyed what you saw us. That's the very candid version of us, very real version. And we're down to just weeks to opening day. And we are more excited than you are most probably. And we say that with full confidence. We can't wait to have you guys come through our doors, experience Ethos for what it is. Experience our coaching, our service, the place, the feels, the smells, the emotions that you will get. We promise you it's not going to be in the bathroom into the toilet. That's not what we're doing. And hopefully that you guys can tell your friends as well. We'll see you guys in Aqua near Rockwell very soon.